I had an interesting experience today. I was riding with a salesman of a client of mine. His name was John. And on the way to the call, I wanted him to get his car washed. It was real dirty. So we pulled into a car wash that had a track where the car goes through and nobody's in the car. But John was hesitant to do this because the driver's side window vibrated down and would leave a gap and get water in the car. So he explained this to the attendant, and he said, no problem, we'll have somebody ride inside the car and just hold the window up. John thought, great. So we went inside, John paid, and we waited at the window to watch the car go through. About 15 minutes later, another guy came in to say, in a very argumentative tone, your car's going to get soaked inside. So John said, I thought you were going to have somebody ride on the inside. No, we can't do that. Your car's going to get wet, and I just wanted you to know that. I had to butt in at this time. I said, well, we don't want the inside of the car wet, so maybe you could just give us our money back? Fine. Barked an order to the gal at the counter to give us our money back and started out the door. Because this perturbed me a bit, and I am focused on customer service, I saw this as an opportunity to maybe help him. So I said, excuse me, and I told him what I do. I said, I get paid quite a bit of money to help companies with customer service, and I'd like to illustrate how you could have handled this situation a little differently. He said, okay. Obviously not really interested, but listening. So I told him, instead of coming in an aggressive, argumentative way, saying that the inside of the car is going to get soaked, you could have come in and said, I know that we told you that we're going to have somebody ride inside your car to hold the window up, but we're really not comfortable with that. So we have the choice of either giving you your money back, or you can go ahead and gamble and let it go through and hope that the window doesn't vibrate down. Well, after I told him that, he said, okay, and walked out the door. Well, as he was walking, I could tell he didn't care about what I said, so I said, you obviously don't care about customer service, because I was frustrated and irritated at him. So the gal started to give John his money back, and I was standing next to him at the counter, but the guy came back in about 15 seconds, 30 seconds later and said, hold on, to the gal at the counter, and then he went into a little room in the back. This time he came out with a very different tone. He says, yeah, I just talked to the owner, and we can't hold the window up. And we said, okay, fine. Then he went out to get the car while John was getting his refund. So we walked out to wait for the car to be pulled around, and he pulled it up, and he was very polite at this time. He says, yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't help. It's kind of a bummer. It probably won't cost much for you to get that fixed. And John's telling him, yeah, I've just been lazy about it. But then he looked to me as he's holding the door open for John to get in the car. I was getting in on the passenger side. He looked over the top of the car at me and said, and thanks for the customer service advice. He said it like he meant it. And I was impressed.